And we're live.
Hey everyone.
Hello.
Oh,
Hi, welcome to BlogChat. It must be Tuesday. So,
Yep.
we have a very special edition and a special guest with us tonight. Say hello to Royce Bair.
hi everybody.
Hello,
Hey,
Royce
Royce.
Okay, in the chat too.
I'm in the
Oh.
chat.
Yeah, yeah.
You didn't
Okay.
mean us.
No, well, I literally meant everybody who's here,
Everybody.
which is the four of us plus three people that are live. So, yeah, now four, now 10. No, just kidding. Anyway, what's
Bahamas are
going
in the
on?
house. Bahamas are in the house.
Jay has
It's
already
always-
said he bought his Nightscaper ticket.
Nice.
Yep.
Hey,
Nice,
thanks, Jay.
Thanks, Jay. So yeah, every week that we can, we do this thing we call blog chat, where we talk about the blog post that we wrote. But at this time, instead of sort of walking through a blog post that could be technical, we're going to talk about something that we've been really wanting to talk about for a long time, and now we can finally talk about it.
Yes, it has been a long time. It's clear back in May, we had this secret that we were building up to.
Yeah, it's been hard to stay quiet about this. In fact, we did a workshop in November up in Sleepy Hollow. And right after it, one of the attendees emailed and said, looking forward to the Night Photo Summit. You guys should talk with Royce Bair about maybe doing some cross-pollinating.
Yeah. Oh, I wish I could talk to you about that. Well, there's a few close friends that I have talked to about that, and boy, they were just so excited. They said, we really respect those people at national parks at night. So I think you found a good fit. I think they are going to take care of the conference in the way you've envisioned, and so I think that feeling is going to be all over the spectrum, don't you?
Hopefully all over the universe.
Yeah.
Every Kelvin too. No.
Every Kelvin. Okay.
We have Jerry commenting, hi Royce, welcome to an interesting group.
So some people have said you are interesting. That's kind of a code word where I live.
You're just a little different, a little,
Yeah, right.
Is eccentric the same thing? No. Hi, Eunice.
Hey, Eunice.
Eunice was looking for something that's in person and not virtual. Guess what, Eunice? This is it.
This
Yeah.
is it. This
Yep.
is it. I might have sneaked that. I might have told her prior. I don't know. I forgot. There's a couple people I did release an NDA. But no, Royce, right? We planted a seed a while ago, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Together.
Yeah.
This was something that obviously came together last year, and like any anything that you want to bring to life, we had to nurture it and understand it, and hopefully, I hope that it's going to continue to blossom and grow. Your vision, we've been enamored with your vision. I know I tried to go to Nightscaper, the first version, and then I was, when Matt and I reached out to you and said, hey, our workshop ends right before this. Can we get to yours? And he said, I'll get you on the waiting list. We're sold out now, but I'll get you on the waiting list, and I'll let you know. And when
There's
you
a nail
called us,
biter.
Exactly. I was like, wow.
We saw our names going up on the list as some people dropped out. We're like, are we going to get in? I think we're the last two slots to get in.
Wow. Yeah, that was a close one. We had to kind of, because we couldn't knock people out,
Nor did we want you to.
Yeah.
No.
Right, and it was during the opening of post-COVID or whatever, not post-COVID.
We were only allowed 150 in person according to the county rules, and but two people dropped out at the last minute, and you got in.
And two very happy people, exactly, got in there in person, and it was awesome, right, Matt? It was just like
I felt like I felt like it was just another really simpatico group of people. Like it was like really focused, but definitely tightly knit, and people from diverse backgrounds that were really coming together to work on a topic that was like near and dear to my heart. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, I love these virtual things, and aren't we grateful that this technology, this virtual technology, has blossomed? You know,
Yeah.
thank you, COVID, for that. You know, it's not the only thing I can be grateful for.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
we've
It's
really
silver lining.
learned how to do the virtual thing, haven't we? But
Yeah.
boy, nothing replaces that in-person camaraderie
Right.
and the exchange of ideas that you can get in person and the things that you can go do together. So
Yeah.
that's what's so neat about the Nightscaper conference. So we're really I'm really looking forward to it.
I have to say, it's like I've seen conferences, and I've been in the photo educational field from many different hats. I started it on the B&H side of things. So, you know, supporting and sponsoring educators with that, then finding my own path and starting out and just giving talks at the B&H event space, doing workshops with Matt locally at Bannerman and at Sleepy Hollow and stuff like that. And then seeing that grow. And it was just so nice at the Nightscaper to be, Royce, like you said, with like-minded people who share those same night visions, but also, I can't remember the last time I actually was able to just sit back and enjoy it, you know, and to really like soak in the amount of knowledge that these speakers, you know, I know a little something about night photography, but you know, the speakers that you amassed and that we hope to bring to the table as well, bring together even more knowledge. There's more astronomers. There's more about the science of the skies, and anyways, we all learn from each other, right? We all have
we certainly do. And you know, you talk about sitting back, relaxing, soaking it in. That's the way I felt at the Night Photo Summit, and I felt bad for you guys that were under the gun this last week.
Because we know what's going on behind the curtain. For each one of these things.
And right, so, exactly. You know, the end of April, I'm going to get to sit back and relax while you guys are under the gun.
Like you.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you're on the hook for 2 presentations. We're looking at you.
Oh, you know, I haven't heard about that second presentation. I've only heard about one.
Oh, maybe. Okay.
Maybe. Hey, no, I'm fine.
Right.
I'm fine. Just trying to shake things up a little bit.
No.
Right. So, folks, let's drop in the chat. If you have any questions about Nightscaper Conference. I already see we have a couple people who are going to be coming, Jay and Sandra. Jay's offering to volunteer. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And Sandra, look, there's already networking going on. Wait, the chat's over here. There's already networking going on in the chat. I love that. I love that.
You know, there's so many great volunteer things to do that. So we really appreciate volunteers because there's a lot more to do in an in-person conference. There's a lot to do in a virtual conference, but unfortunately, it's the the IT people that usually end up doing that.
Yeah.
Like
DJC's, yeah, right. Like we all need an Energizer bunny.
Yeah,
we all need an Energizer bunny we could tap into.
Yep.
So and Matt, I guess Matt, you were the go-to guy before you got Fred, right?
Well, we've had Fred for both years, but I guess technically I'm the producer for it. But you can't do anything that big without a team.
Yeah,
this is the beginning and the end of the story. So we're all much more than the sum of our parts, and that's how we approach everything we do.
Yeah, that's the other thing that I'm looking forward to about the Nightscaper conference. I had 4 assistants there at the conference, you know, that helped me out, but I didn't have a team like you guys have to get this synergy going. And boy, I think that's really going to make this. You know, I had a vision, and I did a pretty good job with it, but the synergy that you guys bring is just going to be epic.
Thank you.
You know, my wife, during the last few months, she kept thinking, are these guys really going to be able to, do they get it? Are they really going to be able to do this?
Yeah.
And I said, I think they're going to surprise us, honey. And I'm already seeing that. So I'm excited.
Surprised
Royce.
in the right direction, right? No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, the right direction.
Or is it surprise like interesting? Kind of.
Yeah, no, not like the interesting.
That's interesting.
Pleasantly surprised.
I just changed.
Royce,
the
you
logo.
talked
There we
about
go.
the yeah, they're nice.
Hey, that's cool. How did you do that, Matt?
Magic.
He's got dials and buttons and
yeah.
So, Royce, you're talking about the synergy and everything. Let's take a step back and tell us a little bit about how, like, the original Nightscaper, and it's even before there was a conference, right? How did the Nightscaper come to be?
Well, the Nightscaper came to be because of I'd been doing workshops for about 10 years, Nightscape style workshops,
Mm-hmm.
and about 10 a year. And my wife says, honey, you're getting close to 70. You need to scale back. And I said, okay, yeah, you're probably right. I don't know if you guys know what it's like to do 10
Mm-hmm.
workshops a year.
Oh yeah.
It's grueling.
Yeah.
And so we decided in 2019 or 2018 that was going to be our last year of workshops, and that we were going to do a conference instead. And our first conference, and we started out, using the Nightscaper Face Group, which at that time was, I think, only about 10,000 people. But we now have over 40,000. But the first people that I invited to the conference were all of my workshop alumni, and there's about 250 of those. So that's how we got started. It was in Moab, Utah. We did the Marriott. They could only seat 150, so we had to limit it to 150. And it was jam-packed, 150, and the size of the conference room that they had was really tight. And we only had one track going on at a time. And so that was really a nice conference. It was easy to put on. And then in 2020, we decided to take it to Kanab, Utah, in the big conference center where you can seat 700 people. Thank goodness for that, because COVID hit in March of 2020.
Right.
We had to postpone the conference until next year. And then we thought, hey, we're going to be sailing, easy sailing. But as we got closer to the conference, and COVID still held on, we realized that we'd be lucky if we were able to do 150. In fact, that's what the county there in Kanab told us, that, you're only going to be, you're going to have to social distance, space yourself out. Even though we can seat 700 in there, the county has told us to, knock that down to less than a third, about a quarter of it, so that we can social distance properly. So thank goodness for that. And then we had, easily another 150 that were virtual. So we brought in a big electronics team, video team that not only recorded everything, but, simulcast it all. And that helped out quite a bit, because we had about 10 speakers from out of the country. And, at the last minute, people couldn't travel. So people like Yuri Beletsky could not come in at the last minute. He was a keynote speaker.
Yeah.
Gee.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So,
and his was great, and he kicked things off.
Yeah.
he
Right,
did.
first day. That was a great talk.
Yeah,
He's
it
someone
was.
an astronomer based in the Atacama Desert, folks. That's the kind of speakers, at Nightscaper. It's really people that are in there in the field and that are studying and celebrating the night. So we just dropped a link in the chat, folks. That is the Nightscaper Facebook group. If you are not part of it, sign up for it. Right, Royce? They have to be. You'll need to be approved first. Can you talk a little bit about the?
Actually,
the
that's
Facebook
approved
group?
automatically because of
Okay.
Facebook. You know, we used to approve everybody that came in, and now Facebook has changed it. They're automatically approved until they're kicked out.
Okay. All right. So behave. Still behave. Behave. Be nice.
we have 5 monitors, and if they do something, and I don't want anybody to get scared. As you know, you can come in and be what's a person that just observes and doesn't post
Lurker.
anything?
A lurker.
A lurker. You can
Lurker.
just be a lurker, and we're happy to have you.
Yeah.
But if you want to post anything, we hope that you follow our guidelines, which are basically you need to say the category of which you took the picture, how you took the picture. Is it a single exposure? Is it a stack? Is it a tract? Is it a panorama? You know, is it a composite? We just want a little bit of truth there. Now, you don't have to do those things, but you won't get as much engagement if you don't. So it's kind of self-pleasing.
Right? It's all about sharing.
It's all about
educating,
sharing.
and yes, seeing how we are. It's a great place to learn. Really, I mean,
it is.
I've been a lurker there for a while. Long time lurker.
So are you? Who do you think is going to be the a moderator from the national parks at night? Have you figured out which one of the 5 is going to be the supreme monitor person?
Not yet. Not yet, but we're discussing it. Yeah. We're eager to get in there and do it.
Yeah, so the other 4
it's more a matter of like fighting each other for it. So
the other 4 moderators, besides myself, are just really eager to work with you.
Yeah,
they've already DM'd me and said, "Who's going to be it? We'd really love to work with them." So
nice, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we're really excited to work with the community. So it's I mean, I think all of us have seen the wonderful things that are shared there and how people treat each other with respect. And that's part of, honestly, what drew us to it is just how the community is just polite to each other. And
I don't want any
art. So
it's true. Yeah. I don't want any of you to post pornography in there. Because everything's automatically approved there, we do get a piece of pornography about every other day, and it's quickly taken down, within a minute. But that's just what,
like the comment that I just knew. It happened. I did it.
So hilarious. The timing is
2 seconds, Matt. That was
perfect.
Amazing.
Yeah,
perfect.
Pretty racy, huh?
I mean, I didn't follow the link, but I can only guess.
Yeah. We've got a question in here that's interesting. DJC is asking, can you can't make 2022, but 2023? Do we have a date?
TBD.
I mean, we hope to do what Royce did, which is at the end of 2021 conference, he announced the date and the location of 2022. So we hope to do the same. At that point, we obviously have to see how it goes. But we really are excited to go back to Kanab. We think it's a great spot, a great launching pad for so many outstanding dark sky locations. You're at the, do they call them the foothills of Grand Staircase? You're right there.
Sounds good to me. Yeah.
I mean, you're the Grand Staircase kind of just hugs Kanab, really.
The Escalante Grand Staircase is only 38 miles, the border from there.
Yeah.
And that's 1.9 million acres of it's just huge.
It's somewhat skinny, but it's long. It's long. It goes all the way up 3 hours to Capitol Reef. Right,
so it's such a variety of terrain there. I don't know how many of you have been to Devil's Garden, but boy, that's a fun place. and
Good
a
stuff.
lot of things. But just about everything in that national monument is a Bortle 1 or 2. So, I mean, it's so easy to process your images when you have that much of a dark sky. I mean, you hardly have to do anything to your images because it looks so good.
Yeah, we added to the Nightscaper website and a page that's easy to find under About and Kanab and area info. So this is just the tip of the iceberg, but there's a whole bunch of links that you can follow here to see local tourism links, the BLM stuff about the wave that's nearby, all the national parks units, and lots of other fun stuff to go there. So,
I'm going to make you guys a local. In that area, the locals call it Kanab.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Kanab.
Like Miss pronouncing Nevada.
Kanab.
Yeah, it's an not an aw.
Us Yankees are going to come in there slinging our obs, and we're going to get abs.
That's okay.
Kanab. Kanab, Utah.
I blow it when I come in and try to pronounce the Adirondacks and all that stuff.
Just say bark eater. It's easier. I grew up in Saranac Lake, so.
Oh, did you?
Yep. So
now isn't that where all the vineyards are? Now. Did you say Seneca Lake?
No, Saranac Lake in the Adirondacks, next to Lake Placid. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
They call them the High Peaks region, but it's only 4,000 feet. So I mean, but they were
it's
my
all
mountains.
Relative.
Yes.
Back
to Kanab.
Right. The conference center in Kanab. What was cool is we walked through. It's a very sort of roomy indoor outdoor place.
Yeah.
And then when you step outdoors, I remember the first time, I think Matt and I were doing an Instagram live there or something. We step outside and there's Red Rock right there. I mean, you could have a picnic right up at the Red Rock there. It's just, I mean, this is how like insanely beautiful. And the town of Kanab is, you could drive through in about, I think if you're going the speed limit, you'll drive through it in 1 minute and 25 seconds.
That's right.
However, within that 1 minute and 25 seconds, there's a ton of good restaurants, a bunch of good hotels. We were looking at the Facebook page today, and people were talking about it. People are already booking camping out at the Pink Dunes, and that's the Coral Dunes. Yeah, the Coral Dunes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a cool thing too. I mean, you can stay at the hotels, but again, this is a launching pad for education. Hopefully you come to the event and you're getting yourself totally energized and educated during the day. But at night, Matt and I were going out with different people every night and just exploring a different area. And that's what we really hope that will happen. I think some people will offer some workshops and stuff like that, but really just go out there and explore and get together with some people. We would bump into people while we're out there, or we wouldn't, and it's so funny because you'd think that all these people coming in to the small sleepy town, it would be quite impactful for it. But we went out every night, and if we bumped into anyone, I think the biggest group we bumped into was Aaron King's he was leading a photo walk of 8 people on like the last night or the second to last night. And that's great too. You'll see a lot of instructors that'll step up and be like, hey, who wants to join me on a photo walk tonight? Yeah. And stuff like that. So there's just a lot of bonus networking and shooting and just experiences that you can have there. My advice to you all is that, you come for the dates of the show, but you better plan a few days extra before or after just to kind of soak it all in and explore that region as well. I mean,
you really should. How many have been to the south rim of the Grand Canyon? That's where everybody goes, right? Yeah. Well, the north rim is on this side, of the on the Kanab side, the Kanab side of. And it's like about 75 miles away. Now, unfortunately, the North Rim doesn't open until May 15th. So I should have
Mhm.
taken that off of my agenda. It's because of the snow. There was a lady
We get it.
Yeah.
2 years ago that tried to drive through the roadblocks. Well, she did, and they had to rescue her 2 days later. I mean, her car got stuck in the snow. But the snow, they don't open the road until May 15th. It is so high elevation up there. I mean, we're talking about 8,000 or 9,000 feet.
That's what Gabe and I did right after the conference last year. It was the first day it was open. Boom, we went straight down there.
Yeah, because our conference was a little later last year. What was it, the 10th through the 12th? And so, 3 days later. But, the Zion National Park is only 30 miles away.
Bryce.
And let's see, the Bryce Canyon is only about 75, 77. And then, of course, you've got Glen Canyon.
Love Glen Canyon.
Yeah, that's Lake Powell. That's only about 82 miles away.
I dare you all to shoot black and white at Kodachrome Basin. That's not too far away either.
Right.
No, it's right next to Bryce. It's only about 12 miles away from Bryce.
Yep.
So there's just so much to do.
A ton to do.
Yeah.
And the breakfasts there are awesome too. I'm just saying. All good. All such a cute little town. I hope you all enjoy it. It's funny. I think Kanab used to be known as sort of the Kanab used to be known as the that's where all the
Little
Westerns,
Hollywood.
Yeah, Little Hollywood. All the Westerns that weren't shot in Alabama Hills. The better, more dramatic landscapes, were in Kanab. Thank you.
Yeah.
And you walk down the street and there's all these little, I love just reading all the little plaques about what movie was shot here and who, what famous actor, actress, stayed here and stuff like that. So it's a cute, I can't even tell you how cute it is. And if you have animals, right, Matt, you can bring them to the Best Friends?
Yeah,
Best Friends Animal Sanctuary. Yeah.
Yeah, they have a bed for your dog.
We're talking to you.
Yeah. There's a hotel that's connected to the Best Friends, run by the Best Friends Animal Sanctuary.
Yeah, it's right in town.
It's pet friendly.
Yeah,
right across from a great vegetarian restaurant. Yeah.
They treat your dog like it was royalty.
Yeah. And even if you need a pet friend, I think they provide pet friends while you're staying there. If you want.
Yep. Very cool.
So don't be afraid to bring your dog or your cat with
But
you.
if you want to go to the animal sanctuary, make your reservation months ahead of time.
Yeah. And the animal sanctuary is only like about 15, 20 miles out of town.
Yeah, it's right by Moki Cave, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just past Moki Cave. And there are people internationally from all over the world that come to visit Best Friends, that sanctuary, just for the experience. I mean, they plan their vacation around that.
Makes sense.
So,
such a wonderful thing. So it's just the tip of the iceberg on interesting things to do in the area.
Yeah, there's a salt cave, has many caverns. It's a man-made salt cave cavern that is just way cool. It looks quite natural, but it's only like 5 or 10 miles
minutes away.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
We went to it last time with Just Best. We felt like we were in the belly of the dragon.
Oh yeah, it's pretty cool.
Really, really cool. Yeah.
Hey, we should probably talk about the wonderful speakers that have signed on so far.
Oh, besides us?
Well, we can start with Royce, who's definitely coming back. And I misspoke earlier that Royce that you have to do too. Royce is a keynote.
Well, I'm happy to do 2.
No. Don't let me misspeaking. Pressure you into doing more than that. We really.
Well, if you're going to do 2, do 3 then.
Okay.
Oh, you're so funny.
Royce, it was so funny. We had already in your class, as I was monitoring your chat at Night Photo Summit, people were asking for you to teach like they gave me 5 other ideas for what other classes they'd like to hear from you. So don't worry, we've got your topics.
Okay, so that sounds good. Let's talk about Mike Shaw.
Yeah, let's talk about Mike Shaw. Yes.
I don't know if he did 3 programs at the last conference. I don't know how many he's doing this time, but this guy is an astronomer, a physicist. He has a PhD. He's been a professor at college. I mean, the guy knows quantum physics and knows how to explain it to dumb people like me, and that I can actually understand a little bit. He says he's got to get a new headshot to put in there, but I love that headshot because he looks like a mad scientist in that shot.
Yes, yes.
Well, I think Mike holds the distinction for having written more pages on night photography than anyone else, because his books are massive and monstrous with just so much information in there, and it's the photography, it's the science, and it's the mystery of the universe all rolled into one.
Yeah, and he did an astronomy 101 class for nightscapers that, I mean, I don't understand astronomy the way I should, but he makes it so easy to understand.
Yeah.
And anybody, that's a nightscaper really needs to understand the basics of astronomy to really enjoy the night sky experience. And if he does teach a 101 class again at the conference, boy, if you think you know astronomy or don't, whether you do or you don't, you ought to take that program, because it'll just open up your eyes.
Yeah.
So fun guy. He's a great teacher. He makes things easy to understand, but more than anything, he makes them fun.
Yeah.
We hear he's really good at Planet Pro also.
Yes. Oh, to me, he's as good or better than the developer, but much easier to understand because of his enthusiasm. I mean, he goes out in the field and uses Planet Pro, and he is so accurate with it. I mean, I love photo pills, but there are a few things that Planet can do a little better. And when it comes to putting objects, I mean, you can Google an object and find out how tall it is and whatnot. Put it into Planet Pro and actually build your night planning experience around that object. And it's pretty cool.
Well, I think we're going to be talking to Mike about perhaps addressing that subject.
Yeah.
He doesn't know it yet, but perhaps we'll talk to him about that.
Maybe he's watching.
That would be a good idea to have him do a Planet Pro program, because he makes it so easy.
I love this. Folks in the chat, drop in what class you want to hear about at Nightscaper, because this is it. We're at the beginning stages, so we can get drop in a subject and drop in also a speaker. If there's someone that you are wishing to see speak at Nightscaper, please drop it in. We'll see if it matches up. We have some people solid, but we're still working on a couple others. Speaking of which,
so a lot of people heard Jess Santos at the summit, and that was just the tip of the iceberg. Seeing her in person is just so fun.
Yeah.
She's a shining beacon of goodness and talent.
Yeah, she's just a sweet person to be around.
She's great. She's busted onto the scene 5 years ago and has a very strong vision, is very sharing with her how she goes about what she does. She'll share her knowledge of location or place and as well as how to process it. It's really, and she teaches kick-ass workshops and we're just so happy, to have her here and to, again, continue sharing and hopefully helping people level up. So.
She makes post-processing really easy to understand. She, she does things in a very simple way. And how many of you like complicated?
Me?
Oh.
I definitely love complicated.
yeah, we're nerdy,
Yeah.
but the majority of people out there like it simple, and she teaches it how to do it simply.
Yep. Well, we're delighted to have her back.
Yeah.
There we go. We are into the next row. We have Joshua Snow joining us this year. So
You know, he's an incredible person with light and location. I mean, he sees things and composes things that a lot of people miss.
Yeah. And he teaches workshops with Jess Bess, the two of them. In fact, Jess credits Josh really for helping her kind of get, take that next step into astrophotography.
Yeah.
So it's been nice. And now, they are equals and just both great, amazing visions. And we're really excited to have Josh come and share his.
And Josh is a deep thinker. He'll start you thinking more deeply about your vision and how you look at the landscape. And I think you're going to find that very interesting.
Yep. And
So
next to him
I don't know how many people have run into Bedamaya Foote. She's been around with Ida at the International Dark Sky. She works at International Dark Sky, but she is so fun to be around.
Oh yeah. She did a great. We saw her. She was on the women's panel last year at Nightscaper, and she really impressed us. And then, so we invited her to Night Photo Summit this year, and her class also was like just awesome, really amazing. Yeah. If you caught her in the IDA booth that we had at Night Photo Summit, she was running that in there too. But she super strong vision, young woman who's just so passionate about the night and preserving our dark skies. And again, thrilled to have her come back.
Don't you find her enthusiasm for the dark sky contagious?
Totally.
Yeah.
Yep.
I want to hear what you say about Mary Beth. I'll let you, I jumped in a little bit too soon on Bedamaya, so I want you guys to take the lead on Mary Beth.
Well, we're excited. She reached out to us, and you gave her the stamp of approval, and we loved her work. We loved her work. We loved the education. We've just seen her online, but I love that she also is another strong woman with a great vision, and really, really excited to work with her. So
let me tell you, this girl has grown so quickly in the field of nightscape photography. In just the last couple of years, she has blossomed so quickly, and I'm excited to see her on the program. She has a lot of enthusiasm. She's traveled all over Utah and Arizona recently, for the last few years to shoot stuff. She's just constantly traveling, but she's a great ambassador for her own backyard. What is she from the Michigan area, I believe, isn't she? And so a lot of people don't think of Michigan as a nightscape, arena, but boy, she has really brought it to the forefront. She works in the automobile industry, by the way. She travels around and does car shows.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Can't wait for her to meet Heather.
Oh yeah, right.
So she's in the background doing promotion on car shows. So her handle is Shelby Diamond Star. Do you remember the Shelby cars?
Oh yeah,
racing cars. So she just loves those.
Nice.
Awesome.
So that's her background.
Totally excited to have her. We got our next cohort here, leading off with Aaron King. I had not met Aaron until the Nightscaper conference, and I felt like I had found a kindred spirit. Like his presentations are energetic and vivacious. and inspired. And I really enjoyed sitting in his classes, and his enthusiasm is infectious, and his depth of knowledge, calling himself a huge Milky Way nerd, is very deep. So I'm really delighted that he's back.
You know, he and I have done some vlogcast and some,
those were great.
Yeah. And that man is a motor mouth. He talks circles around me. And he brings so much enthusiasm. So, I mean, he's thinking about 5 sentences ahead of me all the time, and bringing some great ideas to the conversation. And when you go out with him on a workshop, I mean, he's the same way. Oh, let's do this. Let's try this. Let's go over here. What about this? You know, we could do it this way. And he just gets so excited. It's just contagious.
Yeah.
I've worked with Aaron a couple of times. We co-taught a course for the Out of Chicago group a couple of years ago. And then he's got a few online programs, and we did something together there too. And I love how he breaks down teaching night photography processing. It's a very, I don't want to call it an analytical approach because that sounds boring, but his step-by-step on it is very well thought out and very easy to understand, I think, especially for people who might be new to it. He does such a great job at that.
He did a program at our 2021 Nightscaper Conference on making panoramas. And he says, this is, we're going to make this easy because it is easy. And this is how we do it. And he made it so simple. He made something that looked complicated very simple.
Yeah.
And I think people appreciate that.
Yeah.
So Dr. Bryony Richards,
right,
doctor. She just had a baby last month.
Congrats.
Yes. So
Nice.
that's a new experience. Her husband is Eric Benedetti, and they just had a baby together, and so really exciting.
So the two of them together, they form Utah. Was it Utah Dark Sky? Utah Astrophotography.
Utah Astrophotography. Yeah.
Great Instagram, an educational resource out there, and they're doing a lot of deep sky stuff, folks, but also some astro landscape. And now they've got a little baby Orion, I would assume, or something like that. So yeah,
it's a little girl.
Okay.
And, but Bry did a program on, they do panoramas and huge panorama stitching. But one of her programs last conference was on the natural color of the sky. And it was so scientific and analytical, but it was easy to understand. And you really learned the true colors of the night sky.
Made me think.
Now her background is I believe it's in geology. So neat person.
Yep.
So Christine is, she comes from Nova Scotia. What a bright and talented person. And she is so giving. She just started a scholarship program where she's giving basic equipment to people who want to learn how to do Milky Way photography.
That's so wonderful.
Yes. So not only is she doing a free workshop, and it's a virtual workshop, so anybody can, across the world can do it, but she's sending out, once she finds the right people, they'll have to apply for the scholarship. Once she finds the right people, she gives them a starting equipment.
Wow,
to go awesome. Do that. So she has really done some neat things, and her husband have a couple little bambinos.
Yeah, above all the stuff that she's doing, right? She's a mother.
She's a mommy,
as well. Right? It's like wow. It's like So yeah, amazing.
Wow. Oh geez, we don't want to talk about these guys.
And we know these guys.
These guys. Well,
but yeah.
But we're going to talk. We're also going to present. So we, yep, we're delighted to be able to provide our own look at nightscaping. So
I just want to know why you guys are in black and white and the rest of us are in color.
You want to know why? Because we haven't had the time to take new headshots for the last 6 years. We're so busy.
Yeah, these are all on film, Royce.
Yeah.
Film?
Note the color of my beard.
Flim. It's Flim. Yeah. Fuji Acros, yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we're this is just like we meant. Yeah, we're going to be speaking that there's more speakers that are in discussion right now. So everybody who's wondering, like we said in the chat, whether you're seeing this live or you're seeing this afterwards, please be sure to drop names if you're considering somebody or topics, because this is still some clay that's being molded and there's a little bit of wiggle room. So yeah.
Wonderful.
Awesome. Yep.
I'm excited to see what you come up with. And it's interesting. Some of the high profile speakers turn out not to be my favorites. Isn't that interesting?
It always is, right? To see what really resonates beyond, right?
And you'll go to the conference and you don't have time to go see everybody, and then you'll watch it on the replay. By the way, a whole year of replays come with everyone who buys a ticket.
That's right.
And if you can't come to the conference live, you can get those replays.
Only.
Purchase that replay only.
Yep.
But there's only I think 100 in-person tickets that are at a discounted price. They're $200 less than the normal price.
That's a good point.
So you'll want to get those just as quick as you can. So
I also want to hit upon, I think new this year is we're going to have hopefully 40 one-on-one image reviews. That's something new that we wanted to bring to the table. And
and we've never done that at the conference before. And that's an expertise that I'm glad to see that you're bringing, because people like that.
Yeah. So you'll have an opportunity, folks. Here's a key thing. Usually I think, we're trying to think of the night photographer. So it's like, well, what are the hours of a conference for a night photographer? Is it just like from 12 to 4? Because you want to sleep in, right? You want to get some breakfast. You want to get on, but then you want to get back out, and shooting. So it's not 12 to 4. It's a little earlier. But if you again, if you sign up, we'll have more of this information later, of course. But the idea is that a little earlier, before the conference starts, there'll be opportunities for you to have image reviews with us or many of the speakers here. So that's a great way to get feedback, one-on-one feedback on your portfolio, on a project, and ask and have those kind of one-on-one times. So that's something I'm really, really excited to see as well.
Right. Yeah. So some speakers are going to sign up for this, and it'll be elective, and that'll be released, soon. So we'll see. Probably a little bit further down the line when the speaker lineup is fuller. Then we'll release that, and registrants will have the opportunity to sign up for them.
Great.
Yeah, we love feedback. We've always found that in everything that we do, it's people. There's a lecture, right? You can receive so much information from a lecture. But when there's a cycle of feedback, when information comes out and it's received and it's processed and it comes back, and then it comes back again with an added layer of information, that process of review and feedback, it's a virtuous cycle in its education, right? So the image reviews are part of that, and we recognize that we want to help that become part of what we're doing. So hopefully. There's enough of them that everybody who wants one will get an opportunity to do it.
I want to ask Chris when he's going to put the stubble back on.
That'll tell you how old the photo is. I haven't had that in 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, he's been very clean shaven as a night photographer. It's
Except for the last 40 days. No, just kidding.
I did just catch up on shaving this morning. Yeah.
Was it because of the summit?
That's what I was inferring.
Another cool thing, I think a couple other things to point out about the summit and sort of just the camaraderie and the coming together is that there is a welcoming dinner that's going to be out. There's a sort of an area between the two buildings that's all filled with benches and stuff like that. So we'll have a welcome dinner where everyone can gather around and get a seat next to whomever they want, you know. And my advice in these sort of group dinners is every opportunity sit next to somebody different. Never sit next to the same people, because you want to keep learning and bouncing off other people. So we have a complimentary dinner, and then all the lunches are also going to be complimentary. So you don't have to run out and kind of find something and everything like that. You can actually stay. We can all, once we're there at the conference center, we can kind of just stay huddled there in the learning and breathing and just bouncing off of each other sort of experience. And on to that note, you know, we also will have we're in talks right now with a bunch of our friends, our sponsors, you know, and our supporters out there. So expect to see tables from, you know, friends in the industry like International Dark Sky Association, Save the Star, but also, you know, a lot of the tools. I know Spencer's, who was speaking and does great work on Astro modified cameras. He was already halfway through the summit, or the first day of the summit. Not only did he buy a ticket, I think, to Nightscaper, but he's also like, sign me up. You know, I want a table outside the main ballroom, and I want to be talking and helping educate people on what these Astro modified cameras can do. And that's next on my list. He definitely got to me, but we'll have a lot of tools out there for people to try out.
He's also an IREX dealer as well.
Mm-hmm,
so if you like IREX lenses.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say, going back to the lunches and the community thing, I had a really, really wonderful, I had tangentially spoken with Wayne Pinkston and definitely admired his work for years. But I actually got to sit down with Wayne and have a meal with him and bond. And it was really special.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so getting to have that community, rubbing elbows with people that you may have, you know, like known in passing or wanted to meet for the first time is really valuable.
That is very valuable. And most of these people are very approachable.
True. Yep. It's going to be fantastic. So, boy, I mean, we got to roll up our sleeves. We're not done yet. We have a little bit more work to do, you know,
just a little.
Thanks to everybody who has registered already. The show of support so far has been very strong. And for everybody who's registered, we thank you. It's going to be incredible. For everybody else who's thinking about it, if you have questions, just reach out to us.
So are you going to start taking suggestions on where 2023 people would like 2023 to be? I'm thinking of La Palma, you know, the Canary Islands.
That sounds wonderful. Right. I think you want to go scouting together?
Yeah, Royce, let's go scout it first.
Yeah, right.
No, like, in that vein, our ears are always wide open and we're always listening. So
yes,
and anybody wants to ask us questions to make suggestions, we're listening.
Yeah. You know, maybe in 2 or 3 years, you'll have the Australia or New Zealand version of the Nightscaper Conference.
Man. Yeah, we got to get down to the Southern Hemisphere for sure.
Yeah.
We're only talking about half the stars so far. I mean, I do want to address before we sign off. Patrick asked, and this is a post-summit question, but I was not aware of this. Chris, do you know? I thought everyone got reviewed. Do you see this? He's asking about if there will be a post-summit photo review for photos submitted last Friday that didn't make it to the Sunday review.
As far as I'm aware, everything that was submitted got reviewed.
No,
Yeah.
they filled up, so we weren't able to take a couple of people that submitted images on Sunday at the very end. So
Oh no, they filled up overnight Saturday. So anybody who sent them in on Sunday, it was
But if you submitted, I don't know, give us a holler. If you submitted it last Friday and we didn't get to it, I was in there. I don't remember seeing any of yours, but just shoot us an email. We'll let you know. And I think, besides that little housekeeping thing, Royce, this was a pleasure having you here. I was so excited for the future. We are so excited. We're excited for the future for a little while, but I think we see the road, and we see the night sky before us. So I think we're really working that composition out really, and it's very, very strong, and it's also horizontal. But if Matt is actually seeing it as a multi-row panorama. And
so Matt's thinking of it as a stitched panorama then.
Exactly. But multi-row for sure.
Maybe even tracked. Yeah. Tracked, stitched, stacked, all of it. Yeah.
Exactly. So, and folks,
he likes it complicated.
I do.
He does.
Yeah, I'm more of a single exposure guy.
I understand. I totally understand.
And Night Summit is for each and every one of you. From a single to a multi-row night photographer. Right? That's the beauty of it. So we hope to see you there, folks. We really hope that you can join us. Again, remember, there are replay only tickets if you really, decide, say, you can't make it, but you don't want to miss out on the education. We do have a replay ticket that's available at a discounted rate, and you can watch for up to a year after the conference. So we really hope you could join us. We can see you, and we can keep seizing the night together.
It's wonderful.
Royce, thanks for putting your trust in us, and thanks for joining us tonight.
Well, the feeling is mutual. Thanks for trusting me as well. And I'm so excited to get down to Kanab, whatever you want to call it.
It's going to be
Kanab
great.
is the next town over from Kanab.
It's the village.
Yes.
Is that the Arizona? That's the Arizona.
That's the Arizona town.
Yeah, that's the Arizona town. That's great.
Oh, we're gonna get run out on a poll.
Well, thanks for letting us be silly too here tonight, folks.
Yeah, while you're there in Kanab, you ought to go to the movie museum there. I spent a couple of dollars, and John Ford stationed his whole crew there for many movies, and it's just amazing. I have a friend who they were going to throw out this big bed out of the Perry Hotel, and it happened. I mean, it was about seven feet long, and it was John Wayne's bed that they had specially made for him at the Perry Hotel, which is right across from the conference center.
Get out. That's awesome.
They were going to throw it away.
Crazy.
So anyway, there's a lot of history in that town, as well as a lot of beauty. I mean, there's just so many things to see within a few minutes.
Yep. And I love when you step out of town, even like a couple of blocks, suddenly it's about geology and big skies.
Yeah.
So
the changing geology, I mean, you go south, you go east, west, whatever. It just changes so quickly.
Yeah. Looking forward to it. Well, we'll see you very soon.
Yes,
indeed.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks, Chris. Thanks, Lance. You guys were chatterboxes tonight.
As usual.
Are you being facetious?
Yes, I am. But we like everybody to be here because we are a team. So it's a good thing. And Royce, again, thank you. And Gabe, you're just such a wonderful MC and a friend. So you're all friends now. So
all excited. All excited.
And everybody here on the chat, thank you so much for joining us on the live stream.
whether it be YouTube or Facebook or on the replay. We'll see you next time. Thanks for coming to BlogChat.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
Thanks.
Good night.